What's up, guys? So today we're going to be looking at some tweets regarding a situation that revolves around Mew2King. Now, this guy just can't catch a break, and this might be one of the worst things that I've seen come from the bullying of Mew2King, which has been ongoing for like 10 plus years now. Ever since I've been aware of Mew2King, this guy has been getting bullied, and things have been happening to him, and he's been losing opportunities, and then he's been getting bullied, and then people have been starting on him. There's a couple of things that have happened here that I want to show to you guys. Now, I'm not going to reveal the name of the person being accused because they're saying they didn't do it. And if I put their name out there without Mew2King doing it himself, then, I think that's kind of unfair. Although people have put it out on Twitter and he's been tweeting about it as well. I'm going to blur the name, but it's going to be surrounding his editor, who supposedly, allegedly, deleted every single video on his YouTube channel because Mew2King was streaming at the time. I think he was streaming a tournament, and he told this individual allegedly that he will offer him some coaching after the stream has concluded, and this individual did not want to wait, and in his moment of rage deleted Mew2King's YouTube channel. That is the story that is going around right now. This situation is especially messed up because Mew2King's been on YouTube for a long time. I believe he is a full-time content creator because he doesn't really compete too much anymore, and to have your life's work basically just erased and have no sort of like acknowledgement from YouTube to do anything about it is just like, can we leave this guy alone? Like, have we not learned our lesson yet, like where bullying can lead? I honestly feel bad for the guy. Like, every single time I open up Twitter and it's Smash Bros related, his name is in the middle of it, and all because this guy has refused to take sides. He's had pretty reasonable and down-to-earth takes on things, and especially when the whole hack situation happened, and rest in peace to hacks, and Mew2King spoke out about it, he got shit for it. He also got shit for having a joke around with one of his black friends, who defended him, and a myriad of black people that said we ain't got a problem with this, but people that were looking for a problem found a problem in the situation. So it's just been one thing after another, and now his YouTube channel and his livelihood has basically been affected. And there's also another situation that we're going to touch on in a little bit as well. So you can see here he tweeted out to YouTube and to Twitch. Now I believe Twitch actually did help him out, I think, but YouTube hasn't. And he said, my editor decided to delete/remove all my VODs and videos and much more from my Twitch and YouTube, and I need to get everything back immediately. Please help right away if possible. Please DM me too. So there are things that happen in this community, right, where we all get pissed off at each other, but I like to think that there's still human beings behind the keyboards. And even when people are saying nasty things about your opinion on a video game, for example, I like to think it's just gamers being gamers, kind of like a COD lobby, and I don't take things too personally. But this is downright malicious. If it is true that Mew2King offered him coaching because he couldn't afford to pay for his videos to be edited, which is what one of the screenshots revealed, and then he just said, yeah, I'll coach you afterwards, I'm just doing something right now, and your reaction is to crash out and delete everything associated to him online that makes him money. There's no nice way to say it. You are a colossal piece of shit. That's a terrible, disastrous thing to do to somebody. I can only imagine that if karma existed, it's going to hit you in the worst way possible. Now, Mew2King is accusing the editor. The editor is saying it was not him. It does look suspicious on the editor's end, given what is in these screenshots. But again, I'm going to blur their name just in case they are telling the truth. Although, again, it doesn't look good. So we've got an individual here who has responded to Technicals, who tweeted this out to try and get some support from Mew2King, saying that he knows who it was that did this. And it says, in the Twitch stream, he started crashing out about not reviving coaching in exchange for editing. Mew2King had told him that they were going to do it after GOML top 8, I assume that's a Smash tournament, but the dude kept crashing out. He has had other crash outs too. So we're going to go over some of his other crash outs as well. Now, I am going to have to censor some things because messages are a little bit crazy, and I think from what I remember they were racist as well, so we'll go over them too. So here's the first screenshot. So again, we've blocked out the name of the person sending it, although if you're on Twitter, it's already been spread everywhere, but just in case you're not on Twitter, again, I'm not going to put the name out there just in case they're telling the truth, although this doesn't look good. You don't give an F about me and you made your $30, now enjoy your F slur, bitch made life. So just like everyone else in the controller community, a scammer. Now this is him speaking to someone else. This is not him talking about Mew2King. This is another crash out that is taking place, just to paint a picture, because people are basically saying that, this guy has had instances of just completely crashing out and not dealing with things in like a democratic fashion. All of you effing douchebags do the bare minimum and don't give an F about the product or the end user, so miss me with that bullshit. You're a bitch and haven't once addressed the fact that all my collaboration setting minus the notches were F, because you don't know what the F you're doing and didn't read the phobe GitHub collaboration guide, you effing artard bitch. Seriously, I hope the worst for you, your family and everything you love. I hope you lose everything and die a miserable, slow, painful death, you bitch ass MF scammer. F you. This isn't a game or an act. I'm dead the F serious. F you. All you bitch ass. Well, that's one way to put it. Do is come to America, sell cheap shit and 1 out of 10 of the quality and pretend like you're selling shit that's A1. F all of you bitch Temu scammers for real. Eat a dick the long way, you F slur. Do you like that? How does that feel? Do you like the feeling you have right now? Because that's how you've made me feel, you F slur. Now you got nothing to say. Spoken like a true bitch F slur. Scammer, go to hell. Temu slash Sheen F slur. If you guys don't know what Temu or Sheen is, I didn't even know that Sheen was Chinese, but Temu is I guess it's a Chinese establishment that sells things. I have the right to call you every slur in the book because you scammed me and stole my money for your personal gain. So that removes all boundaries of respect. F you. Intentions this, intentions that. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. You ever heard of that saying, you F slur? Refund me my effing money, including shipping, you bitch. K-pop F slur. Now the assumption here is that they were sold a faulty controller. Now from the people that I spoke to in private, they just said that it was a mix-up. The controller came, the person that was selling it is quite a down-to-earth, cordial person. Apparently, that's what I was told. I don't know this individual. And they were willing to fix this for this guy that is absolutely crashing out. This is supposedly Mew2King's editor. And just quick side note, Mew2King, you really know how to pick them, bro. I mean, Jesus Christ. This is why people that ask me, oh, Mike, why don't you have an editor? This is why. I'm not going to trust somebody on the internet with my account. Because I might say something in a video, not even directly to them, that pisses them off. I mean, we saw how people reacted to me yesterday with my take on a game, a fighting game, mind you. Not their mothers, not their fathers, just me with an opinion on a fighting game. This is coming from the Smash community or someone that is related to the Smash community. And I don't want to have to deal with that bullshit. So to any of you that have always asked me, can I be your editor? It's not that I don't think you're good editors. You probably are. I'm not a good editor. My editing is shit. But I'd rather not have a situation like this, and I'm bound to upset one of you with my takes in videos because people get very upset about video games these days. He goes on to say, F you scamming me and making me think you know what the F you're doing when you don't know shit about collaborating a phobe other than soldiering and calibrating Firefox notches. F you on everything I love, you're a bitch ass scammer. Bro sent me a effing Temu phobe. F you and eat a dick. Go ahead, block me, you vagina. Ass, bitch, scammer, F slur, and then vagina, ass, N slur. I mean, the energy to type out all of this stuff, I'm gonna have to edit the hell out of this. And this is just to paint a picture of you. I just want you guys to be painted a picture that if this is the person that allegedly did it, it would be easy to understand why you could believe it, because this person seems unhinged. F off, you didn't collaborate shit but the notches, but I'm sorry you don't feel the same way. I'm on the phone with the bank right now since you want to be a scammer. F you for life. They said I'm not trying to scam you. You said you calibrated the controller. You didn't calibrate shit but the notches, you bitch ass MFer. F slur. If you had a problem, I would have happily looked at it again for you. It's never my intention to scam. If it was, I would have already blocked you, dude. Reasonable response. It's F you for life. Go to hell and suck a dick. I hope you die a slow and miserable death, you piece of shit scammer. Scammers are scum of the earth and you are one of them. F you. The alleged scammer says, okay man, I wish you had just told me calmly so we could have worked it out last night. I get you're upset and I'm really sorry it didn't come out like you wanted and it truly my bad on my end. But there's no reason to start calling me slurs, dude. It was never my intention to scam you. I was literally offering up to $70 phobe. I would be making like $5 on that sale after I take out material costs. I really don't want to scam you, dude. I'm a little upset you felt that way. And finally he responds with, you don't give an F about me. You made your $30. Now enjoy your F bitch made life. You're just like everyone else in the controller community, a scammer. Now, people were calling them out on Twitter for the unhinged behavior, and I found this funny that in response to the unhinged behavior, they were posting the fact that they had been accepted into loads of different universities. Now, fair enough, you can be academically smart and be an absolute psychopath. I mean, psychopaths, I think, tend to be very intelligent. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is a psycho, but that is extremely unhinged responses to send to somebody. So you can be academically smart and emotionally immature or emotionally inept or lacking in that sort of area of your life. There was just more receipts here that they had been accepted into universities. It's just like being academically smart doesn't mean that you're not emotionally inept. It is quite funny though. I mean, yeah, you got accepted into more universities than I did, so fair enough. Anyway, that out of the way, back to the Mew2King's situation. So somebody reached out to them and was asking them questions, and this is where the doubt really sets in. So it says here, for context, he lied to me and didn't do shit. Mew2King is illiterate with computers. I edited videos for 4 hours, plus he can't return his end of the agreement when he promised to coach me in exchange for editing. So F you for your uninformed, judgmental opinion. So this is the person, the one that was crashing out in the other messages. Basically, it sounds like he's justifying his behavior for not getting coaching. This other individual replied to him saying, and you couldn't wait for a little bit of time in order to maybe resolve things peacefully? Hell, if you wanted to delete videos, then focus on specifically the stuff you edited. That way you are effectively removing the work you had done. So many better ways to handle this. The unhinged editor, allegedly, responds with, my issue with Jason isn't even about the vids I'm accused of deleting without proof. We had a clear deal. Editing for coaching. I told him I have documented chronic insomnia and can't do late night sessions, but he only offered times that would make it worse, which is inconsiderate. Especially coming from Jason, who is always reminding everyone about his autism, but I guess it's F anyone else that has a legitimate health condition. And then the other person responds with, that's a fair criticism to have. I get you didn't want to get effed over, and knowing you have insomnia, it also explains the crash outs. Many people I know who have insomnia have short tempers because of it. Still, you could attempt to discuss it like a normal human being. Now, it's true. I know people that have insomnia that have very, very short tempers, but this is a bit extreme to be leaning on the insomnia argument. Though you say without evidence, are you implying stating that you didn't do it? If so, then I would think you should tell Jason, because you certainly aren't getting what you want if the dude thinks you did all of that stuff. I've already been assumed guilty. He has me pinned on his Twitch as the culprit. Tried texting him, even sent him a tutorial on how to recover YouTube vids, and those messages went unanswered. I've been presumed guilty. I can't do shit about it, and that's fine. Melee ain't my life. I get that, but did you do it? Like, take the emotions out of this. Let's look at it objectively. You come into Mew2King's stream mad and publicly call him out, even if justified. Then shortly after all of his stuff disappears, anyone would presume you did it. Though the alternatives are that Mew2King did it to blame you, not likely given the time frame, or that a third party used you as an easy scapegoat, which both are very concerning alternatives that I would hope, even though your issues with Mew2King you agree are effed. And then this guy finally responds with, Mew2King has dozens of enemies and people that don't like him. Why do I have to be assumed to be guilty when all I've done is put hours of editing for him? Do you know how hard it is to make an entertaining edit for a YouTuber that says 5 words every 20 minutes? I said to take emotions out of it. You are invoking this idea of loyalty, which again I get from your perspective. If you can think of it like an outsider, you see a guy's editor come onto stream pissed, outright call him a liar and a fraud, then the guy's YouTube vanishes. Anyone is going to suspect the editor in that case, which is why I ask a simple question. Did you do it? I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but when you dodge like that, it does make it hard. And this is true. Like, if someone accused me of deleting someone's channel, I'd just say, no, it wasn't me. But there's no, it wasn't me in any of these tweets, which is why it does look super suspicious. I'm not going to explain myself. I don't owe anyone anything. And to all the dickheads that want to call me an artard, check my transcripts and acceptance letters on shit farts. I think he's talking about his university or college acceptances. That is quite funny. And tell me I'm an idiot with a straight face. Tell me another Melee player to get into Dartmouth Brown, JHU. I'm just making an objective statement of fact. You publicly attack a guy, his channel gets nuked shortly after, and then thus far every attempt to potentially absolve you of guilt, you stonewall. If you think that's the correct response to all of this, then we have no reason to talk. I'm not stonewalling, I'm explaining myself to a kangaroo court of Twitter strangers that have already made a judgment. You could have just said to him, no, I'm not the one that did it. That would have gone. It does look suspicious, I won't lie. But again, the name has been taken out because we don't know for certain. I just had a breakdown here of the shit that has happened to Mew2King in the last 3 months from Jacob. And he says, in the last 3 months, his close friend Hacks passed away, RIP. He gets accused of being a right-wing grifter for being upset about that. Imagine that. Mew2King pledges to get votes for now Invitational Japan, which is what we're going to talk about in a little bit. People again condemn him for being apolitical. Then his YouTube channel gets deleted. It's just like, man, can you give this guy a break? Like, for real. Then Melee is Cooked posted this saying, in his article, Edwin also links the recent Reddit thread about Mew2King's nomination for the Now Invitational tournament, which is full of dozens and dozens of hate comments. Interestingly, and somehow, this thread isn't locked, whereas threads that are even remotely critical of other Melee personalities get locked very quickly. For example, the recent thread which covers Cody's thoughts on the Mango situation was locked within 24 hours due to the criticisms of Cody's character, yet Mew2King's thread stays open in perpetuity, allowing even more hate comments to flood in. And these are the comments in question. It's just a constant flow of people hating on Mew2King. Like, they really have something nice to say about him, and this is again because he supported his friend, because he didn't want to take a political stance, because he's a streamer and a video game player. You know, he's a Melee player, not a politician. He doesn't want to get involved in that. He just wants to have fun with people, but that's not good enough. It's just constant. And these guys are saying that he hasn't proven himself in the community, that he's been out of it for too long, that he hasn't entered things in a couple of years, and that he shouldn't be getting any votes to this tournament that is coming up in Japan. And again, that situation gets worse. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But this is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the idea that Mew2King would need to prove himself to a bunch of faceless people on Reddit and Twitter who have probably not accomplished half the things that he's done in this field is hilarious to me. I don't even know why Mew2King entertains them in that regard. I would just laugh at them. I think he would have gotten the support for it, but we'll talk about that in just a second. And again, just so you can see it, there's just more. It's just an endless flow of hate for this guy. You know, there's a lot of people I'm like, they're right, but I get why they get hated. I get why I get hated. You know, even though I feel like I'm right about the things that I speak about, which is why I speak about them, I understand that people are very emotional about video games, and even if you're talking about a game, something that's not real, sometimes they can snap. That's just how people are nowadays. But Mew2King really hasn't gone at anyone. He hasn't said anything that would draw the ire of anyone. He said he doesn't want to get involved in political discussions. He just wants to play games, and that's still not good enough for people. They still want a boogeyman. Here's a comment, one in particular that was pulled out, that says Mew2King's presence as a Melee influencer has been a very strange surprise of this year. At 896 hours of streamed Melee as I'm writing this, he's already crossed last year's count of 658. But let's call balls and strikes here. The response to his return has been mixed, to say the least. It's coincided with an extremely dark moment in the scene, as well as significantly toxic shift in Melee's online environment. Broadly speaking, the vibes are not entirely pleasant here, as shown from how his campaign for inclusion at the Announced Invitational did not necessarily receive the most positive feedback. I'm not inherently against the idea of a scene where Mew2King is a more active participant. The story of a former member of the Five Gods coming back to compete at majors could be a cool development. Some of his sessions with people like Hungrybox, Salt and Chicken Man 400 have been fun to watch from afar. If he's here to stay, I hope he can be a healthy, positive figure in the community for 2025, and not say, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any hesitations. Until Mew2King goes to an event, competes, showcases consistent community involvement, and generally proves that he's not a bozo, I'm not convinced that his increased participation is anything other than a brief fad. I'd be happy to be proven wrong. I would love for a legend of the game to return if he's committed to the community, just not with the expectation that it should be the other way around. This sounds like a cult to me. These are video games. You can go to any video game you want. And if you get invited to an invitational by way of the community voting you in, and then you decide, you know what, I don't want to play in any more tournaments, I just want to stream now. I've never heard of shit like this before. I mean, we've all got problems in our own scenes and we might disagree, but we should all be able to look at this and go, what the fuck is going on over there? Are they like making blood sacrifices to Satan or something? Why does he need, what does he need to prove to anyone? If he gets voted in by the wider community, that should be enough. That should be it. I don't understand. This is insane. Like, the way they think is absolutely mad over a fucking kids party game. It's incredible that we've even gotten here. And it's even more shocking that Nintendo has not stepped in for this stuff. So there you can see Mew2King has signed up for the Nouns Invitational, which would see him go to Japan to compete in this tournament. I don't really know what the tournament's about, if it's an exhibition or if it's actually just a proper tournament. But either way, he signed up for it. I don't think signups were available yet, and I was going to obviously promote it on my channel and say, yeah, let's get this guy there, and he's a legend in the game. He's really done nothing wrong. But as we'll see in a second, that's not going to happen anymore. Now, just to go back to what they were saying previously, Cody was getting a lot of criticism, rightfully so, because this guy's a donut, and people were criticizing him, and the thread got locked. Right? It's been locked. Locking this post because people are being particularly toxic in this one. We'll remove comments as necessary, but the post will stay closed. As there are plenty of others for discussion, please be respectful towards each other as you continue to sub for discussion. Then you look at Mew2King's one, which you just saw just now, is flooded with hate comments. As you can see there, there's over 300 comments in there, flooded with hate. I only picked out a couple of them from Twitter and a couple that I saw on Reddit. Flooded. It's not locked. The thread is open. Why is that? Cody deserves the criticism he gets. The things that have come out of his mouth are absolutely ridiculous, and any grown man or woman would be able to tell you that. Mew2King has really done nothing wrong in this regard, and you left his thread open to get flamed by people, but not Cody. What kind of moderator worth their salt does that? And that's all culminated in this situation here. Mew2King has decided to step away from competing in this tournament. So it starts with, I thought about this a lot, and I decided I'm going to drop out of the Japan voting so that people who have been more active and never been to Japan can have a shot to compete there. Also, I think I'd feel bad knowing in the back of my mind I might be taking someone else's spot. That's not someone else's spot, Mew2King, if you earned it. You're a legend in the game. They used to refer to you as one of the 5 gods. You've already earned your place. If people vote you in, how is it the other person's spot? The fact that you gave these people this win, I just can't understand it. You streamed the game for, what, almost 900 hours. You've competed at the highest level. You have the respect of the wider FGC. Maybe not the psychos in your own scene, but you have the respect of the wider FGC. And you decide that you're going to drop out of a trip to Japan that you could have been voted in on. Dude, you only get one life. You cannot let faceless people on the internet hold you down like that. You're never going to get anything done. Now, I'm not talking down to you or anything like that. You're a grown man. I understand. I've read that like sometimes you struggle with things. I think that you detail in here. But dude, again, you only get one life. You don't know what could happen in Japan. You'd have no idea. Opportunities can come knocking. The more that you step outside and you go and do things, the more opportunities that you get. That's just how life works. Some of these people don't understand that because they never go outside and they're stuck online, terminally online, and they don't understand that. When I went to Japan, opportunities arose for me that didn't even occur to me beforehand. You shouldn't give up shit that you've worked for to appease people that wouldn't even piss on you if you were on fire. I do think I had a good chance to get in via voting, but I think I'd feel too bad about it. I'm biased, but if you were going to vote for me, maybe consider voting for my friend. But this guy, he's a nicer guy than me, honestly. Of course you had a good chance of winning. Of course you did. You're Mew2King, dude. Like, people would have voted for you. The fact that you're giving up your opportunity because of what some people said about you is ridiculous. You hate to see it, but, he's a grown man. He makes his own decisions. I'm moving to San Diego to try it out. I don't know what I'm going to do long term. Right now, I just want my YouTube channel back and have a decent stream career just to make a solid living. I might go to something else this year. I don't deny that I have huge self-esteem issues, which distracts me quite a bit. In all honesty, I find myself laying in bed all day instead of streaming or doing anything productive. I've been like this for many years, half my life now. It's even more in recent times. I really ultimately just want to be happy and have a happy life. I'm not going to pretend that a lot of people hating on me online for originally joining the Invitational wasn't part of my decision. Sadly, it was a big factor as well as the idea that I wouldn't want to be the reason someone else didn't get in. Same reason I didn't do Summit. Invitationals in the past, although it was slightly different for those because that was more fans spending a lot of money for something not guaranteed, so I guess it's not the same. I was pretty confident I would be in the top 2, but I think it would have taken a huge toll on me mentally. Yeah, because he was probably going to get bullied for it. Whatever this guy does, they're going to bully him, and they're picking on him because he's an easy target. They have learned nothing, absolutely nothing from recent events. They're picking on this guy because he wants to be apolitical. Imagine that. And the thing with these people is that a lot of people are apolitical. A lot of people. It's just you can't do this to people offline. He won't have it. But they're picking on him because he doesn't want to take a stance. Because he decide to sit in the middle. A fence sitter. Mew2King, don't worry, I've been called a fence sitter plenty of times. Just let them say it. Doesn't matter, man. Let both sides fight until they can fight no more. And maybe common sense will prevail. I also really don't want that to eat at me from the back of my mind. I talked to a bunch of people I trust about my various thoughts and concerns before making this decision. I would still love to go for commentary, exhibitions, coaching, though if Nouns is open for it, maybe. Feels kind of like a lose-lose situation, because no matter what I decide, I disappoint a bunch of people and I don't want it to be that way. But I don't know. This has been eating at me for the past few days with struggling to make a decision. You know what? I get it. I understand, you know, you try to make everyone happy, but there's times where you gotta make yourself happy. I agree that it's nice to live for other people, to do things for other people. It's a nice thing to serve other people. That's how I feel anyway. I feel like life is better when you're making somebody else's life better. But not these people. Okay? There's limits and there's lines. You need to know when people don't have your best interest at heart, and these people couldn't give a shit. They're just going to sit on Reddit and celebrate that you're not going. Now, once again, they've dogpiled you, and you now feel bad, and you're probably going to sit in your bed wondering about what you would rather be doing, which would be in Japan, probably eating something much nicer than wherever you are, with people that probably respect you a lot more, having a great time. Instead, you're going to be at home now, because if they don't give you a commentary position, what are you going to do? Like I said, it's good to make others happy. I like making my own community happy. I do. It's one of the joys of being somebody that is known on YouTube. But there are limits to things, and there are certain people that do things and I tell them to go fuck themselves. I make no qualms about that. I don't care if they've been here from the beginning. If they're being disrespectful to you and they're trying to tear you down rather than pick you up, when all you want to do is remain apolitical and you don't want to get involved in drama, and because you had a bit of a joke with your black friend who ran to your defense as well as other black people, screw him. Screw him, bro. You worked for this. You worked for this. You don't get called a god at a video game by other gamers without working for something, especially in a game like Melee, which no matter what I say about the scene, the game is hard to play at that level. It's difficult. I can't fucking do it. I saw people playing Fox, your peers. I said, fuck that, I ain't doing that shit. Watching Hacks play Fox put me off Fox. That's how good he was at it, and that was the levels. You worked for this. You should be going to Japan. There's a lot of things regarding this and other things I was about to talk about via a write-up or a vid, but since I just lost like 500 videos from my YouTube yesterday, I haven't really been able to think of anything else or in the mood for anything else. Just been really sad. And that's where he ends it. Now for those of you that don't know how YouTube works on a monetary from a monetary viewpoint, when you put a video up, sometimes the video doesn't really do well. Let's say you hit 1,000 views, it doesn't really move. Then all of a sudden the video just starts picking up traction. That's all money for the YouTuber. So having 500 videos removed from his channel is going to heavily affect his bank account. I had a video that I put up and it didn't move for like 3 years. And then out of nowhere, it just started getting watched a lot. And I was like, where's all this come from? And now that's all gone because his editor allegedly lost his shit. Now, I would say before you become the editor for anyone else, if you are the one that did this, definitely take your meds, because that is some unhinged shit. And if you didn't do it, fair enough. You know, like I said, I've not included his name because we don't know for certain, but that is what Mew2King is alleged, and that is what a lot of people are saying, and it doesn't look good based on the messages. Another day, another round of bullying Mew2King. Like, it's just ridiculous, guys. Like, have we not learned from Hacks? Like, I understand, maybe you don't like apolitical people. Maybe you don't like neutral people, but do you have to bully the guy? Do you have to do you have to behave like this? We're a gaming community at the end of the day. We don't have to agree politically. Plenty of people I don't agree with politically on both sides. I'm a little bit like Mew2King. I'm not apolitical, but there's a lot of things I don't agree with on both sides. Now, yeah, again, we've got unhinged people in the FGC. They call you fence sitter and they think that that's some sort of insult, but it's not. Like, we just want to sit up here and play games on our fence. We don't want to be involved in all of this nonsense. It's not for us. We're gamers. When the camera goes down and the game turns off, yeah, maybe you sit around, you have a discussion about politics as we're older and it is important. But when we're locked into the world of gaming, they don't want to be involved in this stuff. In closing, I hope that Mew2King's able to recover his channel. I hope that people stop bullying him. Just because, you know, I read stuff on his Twitter page and I read what people say about him, and you know, this isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well. People need to stop. Just get back to playing games. Stop behaving like a fucking cult. Don't worry about what people's politics are. It's none of your business. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this whole situation. I'll catch you very soon. Take care and peace.